Нет лучше лекарства для ран, чем хорошая месть. Попробуй сам. Ты просто забыл.
Что это была всего лишь игра.
А что потом, когда ты осуществишь свою мечту? А боль снова возвратится.
Я не могу доверять тебе.
Oh, don't be such a baby, Caboose. Henshin. Hey guys, what's up? This is Nerfan16 with your kid here on YouTube, and if you haven't read the title of the video, yes, I'm very late to the game when I'm talking about this movie, and it's US adaptation. I'm not gonna say remake, but here is my, I guess, retro versus new debate on the 2003 Korean film turned, actually 2000s Korean manga turned movie OLDBOY, and its American counterpart by Spike Lee. First things first, rules of the road. I am aware that I am about a year late on this movie, and I understand that not a whole lot has seen this movie, mostly because of some controversial natures. Octopus. But aside from that, when you do see the originals, if you ever do see the original, I will say the hallway fight scene that's been talked about to death long before I even came across it is beautifully shot. And the upshot is, I think Spike Lee kept that element and just didn't like shaky camera like a lot of directors would normally do with that kind of combat. And that's a lot of positives on both ends. Mainly Brolin's character in the US one does make you want to root for him more, I guess. I mean, he's still... Oh, another rule of the road, I don't know everyone's original name from the Korean version, so I'm just going to call him, if I talk about, like, Brolin's character or Olsen's character, I'll say original character, because I didn't really have the time to talk about it. However, I'm also realizing I'm running out of battery, so I might cut to that later. So if I do, I will get back to my thoughts. So, with that said, I'm actually going to start on the US version first. For those who don't know, this movie starts off with Brolin's character being kidnapped and in some sort of hotel prison for 20 years. In the original Korean version, I think it was 5 years less than that. I want to say like 15 years. And the whole idea is that someone from his past wanted to get some payback from something he'd done to him. Now, that all pertains to more spoilery things about the original. And if you watch Game of Thrones and know anything about the Lannisters, you pretty much know where this is going. Anyway, with that aside, I'll just get to the pros and cons on both ends, and spoilers ahead, because I will be talking about the twist ending on both ends. And to be honest, I really didn't know what would they do with it, because you still have him realizing about his daughter, and you still have him freaking out. I mean, not to the extent as the Korean version, I will say, which I guess they realized they couldn't, like, duplicate, no matter how hard Spike really wanted to do for it. And I have nothing against Spike Lee as director or anything like that. I really think he's a fine director. He's done a lot for the industry, and I'm not in, like, the same rage level disappointment as someone would when this came out. I'll say, like, if you want, like, a bare basics on what the original can do, I recommend the movie. Mainly because you'll have an idea what you're getting into. It still won't help you because the Korean version does go a lot of twists and turns with its conclusion. And when I saw the trailers for the original, I thought that they wouldn't go that far in, but it turns out they kept it. What I mean by this is, Olsen's character and the original character in the Korean version are his kid. Now, you're thinking, okay, that's cool. Yeah, but they had sex earlier in the movie. And they didn't know. Now, Caboose? It was so stupid. It was so stupid. Blame the Korean version, honey. Just go. Church is there. Friends! I know I'm rambling for a while, but from what I can gather, I really do think both versions are fine if you can handle their endings. Now, you know, in my case, I'll recommend the Korean version mostly because of the fight scenes. They have a purpose, they have a reason. I mean, when the original character of the Korean version first got out of the prison, he told his story to a jumper. When Brolin does any form of combat outside first thing, he just beats up a bunch of jocks at a fucking football field. There's no context, there's no reason, no deeper meaning. I mean, I guess to show off how much Brolin has trained in the prison, because he was a fat ass coming in and a hard ass coming out, I guess. I don't know. And that kind of mentality was still there with the Korean character. The thing is, you didn't really know, unless he was watching TV, like what year was what, because the Korean version helpfully told you what year was what, why he put the freaking tattoos on his arm, kind of like a prison thing. In the original, it had more reasons, it had more explanations. Here, I think it was just window dressing, honestly. And also, they did not do the octopus in the US version, and he didn't cut his tongue off. There's a reason. When the original character of the Korean version found out that he was banging his daughter, he went apeshit. He was begging for the guy to kill him. And he went balls out insane. He cut his tongue off, yada yada yada. Here, he was begging for it, but it felt like, I don't know, it was probably either the acting or whatever, I don't know. I'm not going to go against Brolin. I think he did a good job. I think everyone did a good job. And I think they expanded the prison, I think, a little bit better than, the Korean version. Like, it explained why they do this. They never explained, like, the history of it or why they do it. Like, a little more, I guess. I don't know. Sam Jackson's in it as well, and he does do his motherfuckers all over the place. Again, sorry for the swearing. But, it felt like, I don't know, last minute or anything. I don't know. Because those guys do find him in the Korean version, and they do capture the kid again. So it makes a lot of sense. I think in Spike's case, he handpicked the scenes he really wanted to do, and just show how far he can take it. There's just one thing. There's no hypnosis. Now you're probably asking yourself, what's hypnosis got to do with this? Well, in the Korean version, it was detailed and explained that the hypnosis was probably how the original character got to hook up with his daughter without both of them knowing each other that well, or remembering each other that well. The hypnosis is not in the US version, so how Zenio Coppola's character, aka Vic, is from District 9, and that other guy from, what was it, the crazy guy from, yeah, it was the crazy guy from the A-Team movie adaptation. The incest was still there, at least on his family's end. I really thought from the trailers that it was just going to be a different character and he wasn't going to go that farther. And then I watched it. And whatever. My dog is barking. I'm going to sum this up. I recommend the Korean version if you really want to see how the original story played out. If you don't want to go, you don't want to lose your mind to it, I guess I recommend the US version. If you want like it doesn't really feel tame, because when they get to the hallway fights, they didn't do shaky cam on it. I think I stated this earlier, but I'm really happy to have just a steady cam, like bare knuckle brawl kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, where's the knife come? Where's the knife come? Oh, just out of nowhere. But I don't know. I think it hurts if you saw either version first. Like you're just waiting for something to happen. I don't know. With my rambling aside, this is a hard decision because I don't know which is better. I mean, for me at least, I want to say the Korean version, but I'm only going to leave the US one as a recommendation if you really don't want to see how insane the Korean one went. Also, this is adapted from a manga too, so I don't even know how far. Sorry, I don't even know how far that went. So with this dream and sea of confusion out of the way, this was Nerf N16, Richard Kid here on YouTube, and let's go take a look at Caboose real quick. Yeah, he didn't know both twist endings were coming. I tried explaining. Whatever. Take care, guys. Have a good weekend, and laters.